Good morning. This is the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for this Friday, July 22nd. Looking at our fire potential impacts, we have a continuation of lightning effects, mainly across eastern Utah, wettest to the east, but still some drier strikes off to the west. Should be tapering off after today. The other significant concern will be winds with an approaching cold front across a good portion of Idaho, Wyoming, into far northern portions of Utah and northeast Nevada as well. Taking a look at precipitation and lightning the past 24 hours, precipitation mostly over Utah and into parts of far eastern Nevada. This is the furthest westward that we've had shower or lightning activity. On the right-hand side, you can see where we had the lightning across not just eastern and southern Utah, but also parts of northwestern Utah and a handful of strikes into parts of Nevada as well. And taking a look at observed precipitation over the past 7 days, quite dry across most areas except across the southeastern portions of Utah, where the darker shades of blue and green indicate anywhere from a quarter inch to maybe 3/4 of an inch of rain. And looking at the past 2 weeks, we did have some significant rains over the mountains of central Idaho. That has since dried out quite a bit, and most of this precipitation further south has occurred fairly recently. Taking a look at our current fuel conditions on the ERC charts, we have dried out quite a bit across Idaho and into a good portion of Nevada and northwestern portions of Utah. Fairly moist across southeastern areas from the recent shower and thunderstorm activity the past few days, but they'll be drying out there as well. Satellite imagery shows high pressure over New Mexico and Texas, continuing a clockwise flow and pulling up moisture into Arizona and into parts of Utah, but that should be dissipating because a stronger low-pressure system is dropping down into the Pacific Northwest. See the tightening of these height lines, these yellow lines. This indicates a stronger wind field, and hence the stronger winds that we were talking about today across portions of Idaho and Wyoming. So taking a look at today's significant fire potential, you see our high risk is up in Idaho and into parts of western Wyoming for a combination of wind and low humidity. This is lightning off further to the east. And other areas drying out pretty much across Nevada, Utah, still moist across southeastern areas. Taking a look at our weather factors for today, on the left-hand side, still some shower and thunderstorm activity across eastern portions of Utah. On the right-hand side, wind gusts. You can see these orange to purplish shades indicates wind gusts this afternoon, 25 to 35, maybe as high as 40 miles an hour across parts of Idaho and Wyoming. Darker green shades indicate gusts of 20 to 25 miles per hour. We'll have to watch where those wind gusts across northwestern Utah and parts of Nevada coincide with lightning that occurred over the past 24 hours. Going further down the road on Saturday, we have drier air given by these tannish colors pushing on in. Should be pushing any thunderstorm activity, the significant stuff out of the area. We start drying out. Look at all those browns up in Idaho and going into Wyoming. On the weather front, just some isolated showers, maybe an isolated lightning strike or two where you see these areas of green. Otherwise, weather starts drying out. Winds start decreasing as well. Now we go further down into Sunday. A little trough of low pressure, but a dry one over Northern California. Just a southwest flow of dry air, nothing significant. We'll be watching this green to dark area of monsoonal moisture down in Mexico. There is some indication that later in the week it could start turning northwards. We are drying out on our 7 days, fire potential on the right-hand side. And then looking at weather conditions, almost rain-free, just a few isolated showers over the highest terrain of the mountains of Utah. On the right-hand side, we will see some stronger winds pushing into portions of Nevada. We see the orange. You could see gusts of 25 to 30 miles an hour. Not quite high risk, but a little breezier than normal. Luckily, they have not had much lightning there in the past few days. Precipitation totals, the 3-day accumulation, most of this will be in the first 24 hours. These first two shades of green are anywhere from 1/100th to maybe 1/10 of an inch of rain, maybe 1/4 inch up in the Uintas, but most of the significant rain is further off to the east and to the south, so we stay dry. And then going further down the road, as we go into Monday, drier air pushing in from California into the western portion of the Great Basin. We're kind of under a high-pressure ridge, watching this area in green of deeper moisture starting to gather strength to our south. Starting to dry out on our significant fire potential on the right-hand side. And then as we go into Tuesday and into Wednesday and into Thursday. Notice we've dried out on the right-hand side. Our fire potential is very dry in all areas. And on the left, you see that this tannish color has been replaced by areas in the black, and you see this green area over here. We could see increasing monsoonal moisture starting to skirt maybe into portions of Nevada this time. We'll have to watch that towards the end of the 7-day period. Otherwise, precipitation, nothing really. Most of this is in the first 24 hours. We should be dry after that for quite a few days. The deeper monsoonal moisture well down to the south in Mexico. And our extended 8 to 14-day outlook calling for much warmer than normal temperatures, especially across the western portion of the Great Basin. And we have a dry signal across Idaho. We do show a monsoonal push, this time instead of Utah or eastern Utah, more going into western Utah and into Nevada this time, where it's been very dry. So we'll have to watch the leading edge of that lightning activity. This concludes our briefing. Have a great day.